Welcome to another episode of the Starter Girlz podcast with your host, Jennifer Loading.
And Brianna Drelis. And together we are the Starter Girlz.
Where extraordinary decisions produce extraordinary results. These are our friends, these are your friends, and they are living the extraordinary. Today's episode is brought to you by Walt Mills Photographer of Glad Models Agency. If you are here in the Dallas or surrounding area and looking for some photography work, check out Walt Mills. You can learn more about him and his work at photosbywalt.com. Additionally, we want to give a shout out to the Studio Dallas. The Studio Dallas is the best kept secret in the Dallas podcasting world. If you are looking for a studio with top-notch technology, video and audio recording capabilities, as well as a team to make things go smoothly, Studio Dallas is the place to be. You can learn more about them through us at startergirlz@gmail.com.
And head on over to startergirlz.com to pick up your free gift. We're going to help you up-level those decision-making skills. And we have an amazing event happening this fall on September 25th. And when you head over there and tell us where to send that free gift, you're going to learn more about that September 25th event. So head over to startergirlz.com today.
All right, Evan, are you ready to get started?
I am ready.
'Cause I think we are ready. All
Yes.
right. Today is a great day to be brave. You might as well start now. You have the power to change your circumstances any day you decide. Let today be that day. Rise up. Be amazing. Be you. Do you. All right, my friends. Got to get the hands moving. We're going to start to use our hands. We're getting going here. All right. So we have a guest in studio today, and I always get excited when the guest is in the studio because it makes the show so much better.
Woo-hoo.
So Evan James McClellan is a local musician and actor, native Dallas, right?
Yes, that's
We
right.
love it.
Absolutely.
He started playing the drums at 4, growing into several rock bands through the years and having music heard on the radio, performing professionally and opening for national acts. He eventually moved into production, putting out 3 albums. As an actor, he did his first reality TV show at 22, since then obtaining many roles, which we're going to talk about. Entertainment and being in the spotlight is his passion and what he is born to do. He currently has a studio in McKinney with over 800 tracks. Get that, Brianna. He's created and produced.
Yes.
Ready for the world to hear.
Ready.
Hey.
Welcome to the Starter Girlz show, Evan. We are
welcome.
super
Bravo.
excited to have you here.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna. I know Brianna because she's in the music, industry.
Really?
I'm business,
Oh,
so we're
wow.
gonna have a lot of fun here.
Okay,
But
yes.
we were talking before the show started, and we're like, hold on, Evan, just save it for the show because our people are gonna want to hear this. So walk us through this. Tell us how this came about for you. Like, were you introduced into this, or fill us in.
My daddy-o was a pretty cool rock star back in the day. He grew up in L.A. We actually grew up in Texas, then moved to L.A. when he was 18 with nothing but a backpack and decided, I want to do this. He had already known Alice Cooper by that time, and they became great friends, and then they eventually started jamming together. Then my dad got in a really cool band called Axecraft, and they got pretty big, opening up for The Who, with The Doors, Phil Collins, Pete Townsend, going to crazy parties all the time and making those connections. They did a demo album for A&M Records, is what I was told. And in 2001, I guess when the internet started booming, I did a search for Axecraft, and thousands of pages had come up to where it had been bootlegged and been selling all over the world. And he still owns the copyrights to the songs, but there's so many people to track down, that's probably pretty impossible to do. But the legacy from that is, it's in my blood, and that's what made me want to get into the business.
That is so awesome.
Very cool stuff.
I'm over here. I'm thinking Alice Cooper right now. I'm just like singing in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We're talking about music.
Yes.
Were you born in LA or were you born here in
I
Texas?
was born in Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've been in Dallas. I've moved around over the years, but I've always come back to Texas because
It's the best.
it's the greatest place for sure.
Yeah, this is fun because I met Evan, Brianna, and for our audience, I met him at a networking event, and he was working for another company, but kind of this is his thing, like what he's wanting to do. And so I'm just finding out even all this because we really didn't even get into that heavy of a conversation.
We didn't.
He just told me like what he was doing, and I went and looked you up, by the way. I went home and looked you up because I'm like, I gotta find out who I'm talking to here,
Yes.
so I can find out some history. And so it's fun, to have these kind of raw, authentic conversations where they're not like all planned out ahead of time and we know everything.
Absolutely.
Hence why we said save it for the show
Absolutely,
because
yes.
we want to hear it. So I think this is awesome. So I want to talk about like your music. You got like 800 tracks. This is crazy.
Yeah, so I have a studio. I've been teaching myself, how to produce since being a drummer. I've been playing the drums since I was 4 years old, and always feeling the beats and, you know, feeling the grooves. And I just taught myself, and now I've progressed, and I have about 800 instrumental tracks in all genres. Everybody that usually comes over and hears my stuff has they say it's got a really deep cinematic feel to a lot of my stuff. But I've done hip hop before with some artists. You know, I've got a lot of pop stuff, but it's usually I start with something in my head, and then I kind of create and expand from there, like a puzzle piece. And just like a puzzle, putting all the pieces together, and it's just something that I love, and hopefully very soon I'll be able to get that out more, since we're in so much of a digital age now, to get everything out there, and, you know, try to put my vibes on the world so people can feel good.
That's a lot. That's a lot of tracks. I mean, it's a lot of music. So it's like, it's quite a bit. So,
do you find yourself collaborating with a lot of singers or vocalists on your stuff?
I'm always looking for vocals. I usually try to find someone who has positive things to say instead of the whole radio game right now, because it can be a little bit saturated with just over-processed things. So, but I'm always looking. I've worked with a couple singers that are pretty cool, just locally. And the Netflix thing I was telling you about earlier, I got into that. It's a great trailer I did the music for. I ended up meeting this guy, and he loved my stuff, and he said, this is the scene, this is what's going to happen in the scene, and this is what I need it to sound like. And I just sat down for a night, and I created everything that he asked me to do, and he loved it. And the director put it into the trailer, and it's being presented to a bunch of different places right now. So.
That is so cool. Congratulations on that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so tell us your work you've got out there, because I know I've looked up your stuff on Netflix. I know you got some stuff out there. So tell our audience so they can go check it. What are some of these things you got out there right now?
So
it's like already out.
As far as the acting goes, I'm on season 2 of Queen of the South. That's on Netflix. I have a couple roles on there, speaking lines with the main actress. I'm also in 7 episodes of a show called Murder Made Me Famous on the Reels Network. So I usually get typecast sometimes to play the cop or the bad guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I played John Gotti's mobster in one, and I had to get pretty violent with one of the guys. You know, I got a lot of fake blood squirted in my eye, but definitely something cool. I've always loved to do. I got picked from an extra to actually play a senator in LBJ with Woody Harrelson and Bill Pullman. And I got to hang out with Rob Reiner all day, and he kept calling me Pitbull for some reason.
Pitbull.
I don't know, but I got some cool shots with him. And then I am in a scene in a James Franco film that has not yet been released, that I filmed in 2016. But that's called Kill the Czar, CZAR. So waiting on that to come out. As far as the reality TV that I've done, don't laugh. I mean, you probably will.
No, we won't laugh.
Maybe I will.
You might.
So my first one was a show called Eliminate.
Eliminate. Okay.
It was like 4 guys or 4 girls competing for the guy or girl.
Yeah.
I got eliminated, of course. But, and then after that,
how can we not laugh at that?
I know,
that's funny.
I mean, it's great. I had hair in that episode, so it's definitely something.
We need to go find the episode so we can see you with hair.
Yes.
Check that episode out, huh?
And then I was in another show called Cheaters.
Well, we know Cheaters.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. It is scripted.
Yeah.
By the way, so
is it?
So sometimes I tell people that, I'm like, what? That was my favorite show. You
I know
shattered my dream.
Yeah, because that show is so crazy. Yeah.
Was that host local?
Yeah, Joey Greco. Yes, he was.
Did he pass away?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I used to actually watch that a lot, and I'd be like, these people are like, this is just crazy stuff. Like, who has time to do this?
Yes. So my my friend Rick and Brandy were married at the time, but Brandy played my girlfriend, and my fiance at the time played my mistress, and her husband.
Oh my goodness!
Her husband in real life played her brother. So we get this crazy knockdown, drag out fight at this club, and everybody thinks it's real. They got their phones out. Oh my God, Cheaters! And it was just all improv, and we had the greatest show ever, and our episode was so good it got it was on Sweeps Week. We
got to go find this.
Yes.
We need to find this episode.
That's amazing.
Actually, so it's funny. It actually the other day on Friday, I was up early and scrolling, and MTV2 played
You
my
see
episode.
it? You see it? You're like, there I
MTV2,
am
was
on
like,
TV.
I finally made it to MTV. Oh my god!
That's so awesome.
So-
Dang.
So
But
awesome.
since then, just making connections and meeting the right
Yeah.
people, and just I love entertainment and making people feel good and just having fun and being silly. So
Yeah.
And you'll stay here because now you can, right? It's like back in the day, you had to go to LA or New York or whatnot if you wanted to be an actor, and you're living in Dallas,
Yep.
and you can do this from wherever.
Absolutely.
Like you can do entertainment from wherever.
absolutely.
It's incredible.
I just signed with Spark Talent. They're a boutique agency for acting, and they're doing some really great stuff. They got a really
They're a Conroe, aren't they?
Mhm. Yeah, they're really cool. They got a great roster, and they're pushing me out for a lot of cool things right now. So I'm excited to see what happens.
You're in the room with a lot, not me so much, but she was reality, American Idol, and Chris
wow.
is kind of in the entertainment
singer?
stuff too. So
I have
See?
so many tracks that I can
Yep,
put you on
I'm a
for sure.
singer.
See?
Yeah.
What's your genre of?
Well, I would say, like I always tell people, I'm soulful
Okay.
rock with a little bit of country, like
Yeah.
a little bit Texas. I like with the
Like
Texas.
a Texas country
twist.
soul?
No, because I'm not really a country singer whatsoever, but like everything I do is like very soulful. Like so, I always but I've got like this kind of edge on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well, I
I'm
love-
actually gonna be releasing a single at the end of this year. So
you guys got that?
and that vibe on that song is definitely like it feels. I'm still trying to figure out what's because it's all piano and lots of soul, but it's really really hard to kind of like drill down what the genre is gonna be. Like
I would
it's
love
really
to
interesting.
hear it, and I would love to get you in the studio and
Yeah.
let you hear some stuff.
That'd be cool. I'd love that.
Look at that. We made a connection on the show
Hello.
today.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question for you, Evan, just because, I'm not privy to this kind of, into that. So I don't know all this. So if somebody were like, say somebody was wanting to go into like this industry, like what advice would you give them?
Practice for sure. Know what you want to do, what kind of environment that you want to be in. It is such a cutthroat industry, but it is, I think, a little bit more accessible since it is such more of a digital age now. Make connections. You never know who you're going to meet.
Right.
Obviously, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. Especially in entertainment, it's all about connections. Keep them strong. Don't let rejections get you down because it just makes it that much sweeter.
Yeah.
When it works out.
I think that the two things you said there that I think are universal though in a lot of industries is not letting, getting hung up on rejection and the connections, because I think no matter what, I don't ever understand, like, I think networking is such a huge part. I think as humans we need a network, period.
Sure.
But I think definitely if you're in business for yourself, you need to network.
Absolutely.
Because you never know, it may not be that immediate person that you meet that is your important person, but that important person may lead you to somebody that's really important.
Yeah. I think the doors are always there, but you have to choose.
100%.
Walk through them or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and you can't, if you're stuck, I when I'm coaching, like business entrepreneurs and I'm talking to them, I'm like, when they're hung up and they're like, they don't know what to do, I'm like, you need to go meet somebody. Like, one person doesn't have all the answers that you need, so you've got to keep moving until you find the answer that you need. So you just keep navigating, keep opening the doors.
Yes. The
Yeah.
door. There's always
I
doors.
love that. And rejection, yeah, you got to let that go. That just
Absolutely.
that has to go.
That's just part of life.
Yeah, you got to get over that because
Makes you stronger.
you just stop and you won't move.
It's amazing how many people though do stop.
Oh yeah,
You know?
100%. Yeah,
Like I always
100%.
say, it's all about the long game, right? And been singing for my entire life, and I always said to myself, I will always keep music in my life. I'll always be singing. I will have some sort of career in music, but I'll do it on my terms. I will do it in my way. And I didn't take the traditional path, but I also didn't know how it was going to look like.
Right.
So fast forward to where I'm at now, and I'm like looking and going, whoa, well, I did it my way, that's for sure. But I didn't. The how has been revealed over time, but it's simply because I didn't give up. I just kept pressing, one foot in front of the other, and the connections and the networking and the process too, like accepting that what I thought as a 21-year-old that my life in music was going to look like at 40, totally different, looks totally different than what I envisioned.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean bad different. It just means different.
Exactly.
You know, so like being okay
same,
with that.
Same way.
Yeah,
way, for
so
sure.
interesting.
You never know what's going to happen next. This could be it. You know, you never know. You just got to keep positive feelings in your head and just know that you can do it.
100%. Yes, yes, yes. I'm always like that. I'm like, man, every day you get up and you're just like, what kind of magic am I going to make happen today? Like, right? Every day, that's how I get up.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody busts that bubble, I'm like, you need to back off. You need to go the other direction.
Right.
You like raining on my parade. Go
Yeah.
the other way.
Yeah.
So I love it. I had a question. I just got sidetracked when you were talking about all that. So you produced some albums. Are there some out there? Have you worked on some?
So I used to be with a rock band called Spill.
Okay.
This was almost 20 years ago, though.
Okay. You ain't that old.
I mean,
Were you a baby? You were like a really baby?
I was
I
10
had-
years
I had hair
old.
back then,
You had
so,
hair?
yeah.
Okay.
But it was pop rock. It was their first time, but we opened
Okay.
up for Bowling for Soup. And,
Yeah, I remember Bowling for Soup. Very cool.
The Calling.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dexter Freebish.
Mhm.
I mean, we did a bunch of cool stuff. And
Were you playing like Deep Ellum too?
Yeah,
like,
we were on
you know.
1021.
Cool as that.
And we hooked up with a girl named Kelsey Tony, and she had just written a track about the 9/11 attacks, and then we put our rock spin on it, and then 1021 started playing it.
We need to find some of this stuff.
Yeah, I
We need to
know.
locate some
I
of
know,
this.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Spill is still out there. The album is, not the band. And then I had my own just instrumental. My production name is MC Square because my name is Evan McClellan. EMC equals MC Square.
MC Square. It's good.
Um, so I had that out. I'm working on another just self-titled instrumental album. Everybody usually hears my stuff and is just like, I don't even need to hear vocals on it. It's just
Yeah.
like the vibe that it gives me, or you can hear vocals on it. So I think that's what makes my music a little bit
I want to
more-
hear
more
some of it.
unique.
I wish we had some here. I want to hear some of your stuff. So
SoundCloud.com
Okay.
/producer MC2.
okay.
I have some stuff on there. I'm always updating new stuff. And then I think I sent you a couple links.
You did.
So-
You did. I'll make sure we get
Yeah,
some
yeah,
stuff too when we get this promoted. We'll get some of it. But I want to hear it before that.
Yes,
I,
for
didn't,
sure.
I didn't get a chance to go
I
through
got
all of
everything
it.
on my phone. So
I'm gonna dig through there because I want to hear some of this stuff and see what's going on.
Definitely got some cool.
I think we got to find the Cheaters episode too. We definitely got to find that.
Oh yeah, that sounds epic.
We gotta do that. I think we should ask him some fun questions around some of this because he's like an entertainer. I think we should come up with some fun questions we really need to ask him here. So, I'm trying to think here. What's the favorite, like the most, like coolest person that you feel like you've met? You've met a lot of different people. So who do you feel like has been like the coolest person that you've met in music or entertainment? You know,
I mean,
actor.
God, so many.
Look at this. He's got so many. Can't even
I've got
decide.
so many.
I know. I just
We did
have
this to
so
somebody
many-
else. Who was
Yeah.
it? We asked somebody else this a while. And they're like, there's this. It was Scott Ferguson. Remember we asked him, and he's like, well, I met this person, this person. We're like, okay, cool. Introduce us, please.
I mean, there's a lot. Woody Harrelson always stands out to me because in LBJ, he was LBJ, and he had full makeup on, so he had a fake nose, prosthetic ears, and he was feeling good, you know.
Yeah.
And we were just talking. I was standing next to him, and he just was the just nicest, most polite person. And I was just like, oh my God, let's stand there. And then
You're like, it's Woody Harrelson.
Rob
Yes.
Reiner's right here. Oh my God, what am I doing? And then standing next to Bill Pullman, and then riding back in the van, going back to where our cars were. Bill was sitting behind me, just
Fun.
talking, and just that whole day was just a great experience. But as far as the coolest person, I mean, Alice Cooper, definitely. I got to sit down and chat with him multiple times. Yeah.
For summer. That's so cool.
That's what keeps going
Yes.
through my mind every
Yes.
time you say Alice Cooper. I keep thinking of that
He
song.
just came out with a brand of his own
Did he?
salsas. And,
Oh.
I guess he's trying to stay busy during the
Yeah.
pandemic. Yeah,
Hmm.
but he's
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool guy. Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, and I think that I'm thinking right with Woody Harrelson. He's been in so many, but there was that. Remember the zombie movie?
Zombieland?
Yeah, Zombieland
Yeah.
that he was in. There's
Yeah.
been so many. I mean, what else? The Hunger Games, and he's been in so many. I like him. I do like him
He's
as
a
an
great
actor.
I do
Great
too.
actor.
He's funny.
Yeah,
Very funny guy, great actor.
a lot of good stuff. Do you have one? Are you
I
thinking?
do. I have one.
She's thinking. I see the
So-
thinking going on over
So
there.
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase the question, but ultimately what I want to get at is if you had your ideal role, because we were talking about the typecasting thing, and for actors, because I consult and coach as well, and I don't typically work with actors, but sometimes I will work with a musician who's also an actor.
Okay.
And we'll talk about the typecasting thing because a lot of times they'll try and go away from it. Like, oh, they just want to cast me for this and this. And I'm like, well, then you need to go for those roles because why are you making it hard on the casting producer? Because ultimately, if the casting producer is confused, they can't cast you, right? So do you lean into that like bad guy / senator type thing or?
Personally enjoy action and stunts. And
I could imagine that would be what they would want to typecast you as.
yes,
right?
But now they're typecasting me as the bad guy. I've never really played the bad guy. I've always played like the cop or the DA or the mobster guy in John Gotti. That was the bad guy. But I don't know. I'm anything that's just action stunts where it gets really serious. I love stuff like that.
Okay.
Drama.
So that's your
drama
ideal role. Action, stunts, and maybe a bad guy every once in a while.
Yeah. Could you see him being like the soft guy? Like the soft.
Yeah.
The unassuming, like you
Yeah.
look kind of bad,
Yeah.
but you're really,
The mysterious,
really soft.
big heart. But
Kind of like the Rapunzel movie, Tangled. There's like a big fat, not fat, sorry, a big tall, like beefy, I didn't mean fat.
it's okay.
A big tall beefy guy.
Yeah.
And he looks really, really scary, but he's like the sweetest like character in the
Yeah.
whole movie.
I haven't seen that movie.
You haven't seen that
I have
movie?
3 girls.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
She's
I'll
seen
put it
Tango
on
probably
my
like
list.
5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's really good, actually.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is good.
But I think that, I mean, comedic stuff too. I don't know. I mean, Jason Statham played a spot.
I was just thinking of that name you talked about. I was just thinking about him, how he always gets those same kind of roles
He was
too.
what was it called? I Spy or Spy?
I don't know,
I
he's
don't
had a
remember.
lot
But
of
he
movies,
played
too.
like the hardcore, like action guy, but he was funny at the same time. But he was serious funny, So that would be.
Yeah. I don't know why it's so weird you brought him up because I was just thinking about that when you were talking about action because a lot of his movies, it's kind of he's that same type character in almost every role he plays. It's like if you were to see him as like the nerdy guy or something, be like, oh, that's not a character.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't work.
Yeah,
Like it's hard,
absolutely.
like especially if you watch somebody. An actor in like movies a lot, and then they have sort of a different kind of role.
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham, yeah, you'll see
He's
him
got like a
different-
dark, like comedic side that he throws in with the action
yeah,
stuff. I think
yeah.
that's,
They're like this dry humor thing,
yeah,
dry
that's-
humor comedies.
That's
So-
probably right up my alley for sure.
That's awesome. Okay, so what's your favorite type of music? Aside from yours.
Everything but country. No offense.
Oh, hey, that's cool. I like country.
I like more like chill, like vibey, positive
Oh, yeah.
stuff that kind of like a little bit sexy, a little bit soulful.
A bit sexy, a little bit soulful.
Gives you that gives you that vibe. So.
Very cool.
Okay.
I like a little bit of everything too. Depends on the mood. Like, some days I'm going to go country and some days I'm going to be like, put some Mozart on. I need like chill.
Yep.
And then sometimes I'm be like, we need to crank this up.
Yeah.
Like, I need some, maybe we'll put on some Metallica today.
Okay. Okay. There you go.
I do listen to Metallica sometimes. I have, my Spotify list. Speaking of music, so I have all these Spotify lists that I've created, and there's like no rhyme or reason to any of them, like nothing, because it can go from like I like 9 Inch Nails and industrial music, right? And then I'll be over here. I'm like, okay, so now we got Roseanne Cash going on over here.
Okay.
Heartbreak, whatever that song is. I heard that today. That's what I'm saying now. So I have no rhyme or
I'm
reason.
related to Johnny Cash too.
You are? We just found out more info on the podcast today.
And Harry Truman. And my grandfather, my mom's dad, was one of the first Channel 8 newscasters. And he covered the Kennedy assassination. So when I played LBJ and was in the Kennedy assassination scene, it was amazing because it all went full circle. But interesting.
This is pretty cool.
It is.
How are all these people connect? This is so how these are I could die. This is so interesting.
My mom and dad could sit here for hours.
This
and
is
just
so
tell you guys all
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Sounds like we have a book project ahead of us.
You could. Yeah, you need to like talk. You need to like
It's
tell
probably
that story.
time. It's probably
Tell
Very
that story.
interesting.
For sure.
Johnny Cash. And who else?
Harry
Harry Truman.
the guy who did the Coca-Cola letters is like one of my great uncles.
The branding for Coca-Cola.
It's interesting
Well,
that
very
how
creative.
they're all like
Very
connected.
creative.
Yes.
But it would make sense though, because it's all kind of yeah.
My mom was, she's an actress too, so when she was younger, she traveled around the country doing theater. So I've grown up with.
You've grown up. Do you have
Very
siblings?
eccentric.
Do you have siblings, or is it just you?
I have 2 younger sisters.
Are they in this industry too, or no?
They're not.
Isn't that funny how that
They're not.
happens?
Yes, it is.
We had one of our girls. Remember, we were talking to Latoya Cooper, her show, and I asked her like if she kind of came out of the womb, singing or whatever, and she's like, everybody in her family is like, no, serious, doesn't have anything to do. And then there's her, and she's a singer, and she's got a business now where she's bringing that in and helping these, I guess, musicians kind of scale their businesses, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how you followed and the other 2 didn't, but then you'll have a situation where nobody's in that industry, and then somebody comes out and is doing that.
So my sister's husband, Tony, before they were married, he was one of the main bouncers on Cheaters and in my episode, and then they met, they started working together, now they're married with kids. So
It's the Cheaters reunion.
everything's always been full circle in my life.
That's
I love it.
hilarious.
So you're just used to it. It's kind of like being in an entrepreneur family where everybody's entrepreneurs, which you kind of are in your industry too. It's pretty much because
I was the only one in my my family that sang. Yeah.
She came out of the womb
I'm the
singing.
youngest. I came out of the womb singing.
Yeah,
Youngest of 4. No one else sings. Parents don't sing. And I have 3 girls, and they are musical,
but don't sing.
but like they won't pursue music. Okay. Like they'll pursue other avenues.
No instruments or.
I mean, we have guitar in the house, but yeah, no. I mean, one of them wants to be an architect. The other one wants to, work for Trader Joe's, and then the other one wants to be an artist.
Work for Trader Joe's. She's like, we gotta get stuff at Trader Joe's. We're gonna get Mama a discount at Trader Joe's.
We both want to work at Trader Joe's.
Say, right? So
that's actually like
that's so great.
What I want to be when I grow up.
That's so great.
That's good.
So funny.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, but you set the tone. I mean, you're.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it is interesting though,
Yeah.
because I wonder if down the road, if they decide to have kids one day, I wonder where it's going to pick back up or. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Well, my son is the singer in our house. He is like from the day, so back in, he was born in 2004. So if you remember when Katy Perry came out, I don't remember what year that was, when her first song, I Kissed a Girl. He was in preschool and he was like 3 years old. It's a funny story. He's going to get mad when he hears this. But he was in preschool singing that song in preschool. I Kissed a Girl, and he was the only boy in the class, like the only boy in this preschool class. And all these little girls liked him. And like, I would have to the preschool teacher would tell me all the time, this little girl's chasing Sean around. He's always singing, I Kissed the Girl. And he still, to this day, he's 17. He is always singing.
What does he like to sing? What's his style?
It's nasty rap stuff right now. I don't like his music. I don't like it. But he will get on, and every once in a while, he'll have, the other day, he had Peter Cetera on in there, and he was, singing one of them songs. He'll be like 80s music, and I'm like, man, he knows all the words to it. Like, he can sing all Vanilla Ice, 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 Baby. He knows all the words of the whole song.
That's funny.
But as a whole, I don't really like his music. When what was it? Hamlet or whatever. What was it? That Hamilton came out.
Okay.
Remember the musical Hamilton? You don't know how many times we had to hear those songs. I was like, if I have to hear one of the songs one more time every day.
Some of those raps are pretty tough.
Well, now you got In the Heights. He needs to go check that out.
Yeah, he hasn't found that one yet.
Amazing.
Yeah, I haven't found that one yet, but he does love to sing, so I can totally understand that whole.
We'll give him my link.
I need to.
Hip-hop stuff up there.
I need to, because he's like singing. I'm like, man, can you turn that stuff down? And he comes in the door. Here he comes again. He got the speaker up. He's like, man, it's loud. Let's sing. So very good. Well, this has been fun. You have any more fun questions you want to ask him? This has been fun.
Let's
you got to connect definitely outside. Because you guys got some commonalities there.
Yeah. Will you be traveling anywhere soon? No, you just gonna stay put? Okay.
He's got it going on.
Yeah.
You're gonna be making his more music. Got 800 tracks. He's got to get out. He's a busy dude.
You're more than welcome to come by the studio.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I'd love that.
Absolutely.
That'd be cool.
Very cool. And if anybody needs a place to record, you need to reach out. So where do they find you, Evan? Where do we tell them to go to get you?
So you can email me directly at mcdcreations@yahoo.com, and my music is available to listen to soundcloud.com/producermc2.
MC2. We got that. We're going to make sure when this goes out, we'll put whatever you told. We'll make sure we have it all in there so they know where to find you.
Awesome.
And in the meantime, and then we may, you know, when we get ready to put out, we might find a little music to stick in there and send it out.
I would love that. I would love
Right?
That would be amazing.
So awesome. Thanks for coming out today.
Absolutely.
This is fun.
Thank you for
We're
having me.
we got like, okay, guys, you got all this stuff now. You need to go find it. Like find the Cheaters episode, find the
Yes.
Netflix episode,
Yeah.
find all the episodes. I'm going to be like home tonight, like digging in all this stuff, trying to find it. I'll be like, hey, I know that guy. We know that guy. So
Awesome.
remember
Thank
us when you get really rich and famous. You'll be like, hey, we came into that Starter Girlz podcast, talked to those girls.
I'll be
Right?
back for sure. This is amazing.
Awesome.
Thank
You have to
guys.
keep us posted.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thanks
so
for
much.
coming in.
Absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Absolutely. All right. We do want to say to our listeners, of course, if you enjoy our podcast, please be sure to give us a rating both on iTunes and Facebook. We cannot do this without you. And hit that subscribe button on YouTube.
And head over to startergirlz.com and pick up your free gift. And don't forget, save the date for September 25th. We'll have our second in-person Starter Girlz event, and we'd love to see you there.
Absolutely. Okay. So final thoughts for the day. Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. I think we can all agree with that. That's by Thomas Edison.
Blood, sweat,
Yeah.
and tears.
Right.
I like it.
Right? Yes. And of course, in order to have success, you must start, and every start begins with a decision. You guys take care, be safe, and be kind to one another. We'll see you next time.